Hey everyone, it's Justin and Liam. We're back with another review. This time it's for the Doctor Who special Revolution of the Daleks for New Year's. So I guess let's just jump right into it. What did you think about this episode?
I found this episode to be quite of a high standard because personally I haven't found the Chibnall era to be quite as much for me as the previous eras have been.
Yeah,
But still, it has a lot of good episodes and stories. But most of them I don't really care for,
hmm
and this is one of the few that I think is very okay, actually. And it's the first story where I caught up in less than 24 hours after initial broadcast.
yeah,
So that was new for me, and yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Pretty good.
yeah. I would say pretty good as well. I think it wasn't great, but it was good. And I think, but
Yeah,
by by normal standards, it was good. But by like Chris Chibnall standards, it was great.
yeah,
And I think the big reasons for that were Captain Jack is always makes the episode better. I think it solved the three companion problem really well, which is one of the things I dislike most about Chibnall. By splitting up the companions, I think there's going to be two for series 13, but whenever you have three companions or even two companions, it's usually a good idea to either split them up or be able to write the dialogue in a way that doesn't feel like they're the same character, which Chibnall, demonstrated he couldn't do through the last two series. He always kind of wrote all three companions kind of in the same way and kind of repeating repeating the same thing. Like there's that one scene where it's like, "Doctor, are you okay?" And then it's like the other two are like say that exact same thing, like variations of it. But this episode really succeeded in writing a large cast,
yeah.
which is not easy to do.
It's very much up to the actors to make the characters unique, I
Yeah.
feel. And while they mostly do that, I only really find Graham to be the go-to companion of this era.
Mhm.
While Yaz is interesting now and then, Ryan is kind of boring, and I find the 13th Doctor to be a little bit underwhelming. And that's not just the writing, but I found Whittaker's antics to be to get bland after a while.
Mhm. Yeah, I got that. I think we should back up and go to the episode in a second, but
Yeah,
just on the Chibnall era as a whole, I think Jodie Whittaker gives a good performance, but the writing is not up to par.
mm.
I think if you had a good like this one, if you had more episodes that were well written, I think Jodie Whittaker would really shine.
Jodie Whittaker in the beginning of Revolution of the Daleks, she was brilliant there, alone when she
Yeah.
didn't play off of companions and side characters.
Yeah.
That's when she shines, I think.
Morning, Camera 38. I forgot you were here.
What about this face? Remember this?
Yeah. All right. So let's actually get into the episode. So it starts with like that long time ago, far away, and then it has this like I'm not even sure how it. I'm not even sure. I think I joined. I think I started the episode like a few seconds late. But there was that sequence where like they were fighting a Dalek, and then it cut to like a year later.
Yeah.
I just didn't see what the purpose of flashback was.
I think it was to establish that the government used the Dalek from Resolution, which
Oh, gotcha.
took
Yeah, yeah.
place,
Mhm.
which took place 1 year prior.
Yeah. So then there's a cut to the doctor in prison, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I actually like the sequences of the doctor in the prison. Like I like all the monster cameos, like especially the Weeping Angel is cool.
Morning, Angela. All right, Bonnie and Clyde.
I feel like the Weeping Angels slowly got worse and worse over their like like the later stories with the Weeping Angels were got worse and worse. So I think having that like short cameo was really good, and then the silent, I think that's the singular, and she's like, "Oh, I forgot you were there," which is funny. Um, yeah. Any thoughts on the just the prison scenes with Jodie?
Yeah, what stands out to me there is that somehow someone has managed to capture all these monsters and aliens, and it's up to us to speculate, and it's up to the BBC to answer our questions, like
Mhm.
who are they, and yeah.
Yeah,
I somehow doubt that the Jadoon actually have the capacity to do that, but yeah, we'll see, I guess.
yeah. I do wish that was
So
better explained, but at the same time, like that's not what the episode is really about. So
yeah, so
it's
yeah,
better.
I like the escape sequence with Jack.
Yeah.
It could have been longer,
Uh huh.
but for what it was okay. Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
it was
crazy.
just, yeah, fast
It's
paced.
crazy
It
that he
was,
spent like he said like 19 years in the prison or something like that.
yeah, that's sick though.
Yeah. Yeah. Very very dedicated. And
Yeah,
then so the prime minister, yeah, the prime minister like unveils like the new Dalek security, and of course, like the audience knows, oh my god, this is a Dalek, but everyone's like, yay. Um, and then so there's the guy who I like to call not Donald Trump,
Jack Robertson, I
yeah,
think
Jack
his name
Robertson,
was.
but I'm just gonna call him not Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, he was with the company that like developed them. I guess that's how, yeah. And so he's like telling that scientist guy, like, oh, you need to destroy this. And then because the scientist guy grew the Dalek embryo or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he gets possessed and said, well, I actually hated his character. I hated his character in Arachnids of the UK, Jack Robertson,
Yeah.
and I hated him for the most part in this episode as
Yeah,
well.
I found him much more tolerable here.
Um,
Same.
so for me, it really just comes down to I don't like social commentary storylines at all.
Hmm.
Um, like that's not an objective criticism of the episode that it does social commentary, but I just don't like it. I like to watch things to escape from everything,
Yeah.
and having that kind of reminder there kind of ruins the fun for me.
I,
Um,
I think what makes Jack Robertson more tolerable here is that in Arachnids of the UK, he was very much deliberately a parody of Trump,
yeah.
and here he's more generic,
Mhm.
maybe, and that removes him from that dated interpretation.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it was better executed here. It just doesn't work for me.
And
Um,
Leo, the scientist, the
yeah,
the one who created the defense drones,
yeah,
he did everything with what he was given, and in such a short time, he displayed his acting
yeah,
muscles to me. That I don't know why, but that particular character, he impressed me somehow.
yeah. I know I did like him. Yeah, and I liked his performance like when he was the real guy, and I liked his performance when he was possessed.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah, the cold open with the lorry driver, that was very intriguing. It got me hyped for the
Uh-huh.
rest of the story. Yeah, that cold opening there, that was, yeah, they did that right.
So there's the the companions are like trying to solve this problem without the doctor, and I kind of like how they struggle through it.
Yeah.
And it just shows you like how important the doctor is. Like they try to talk to him, Jack, without the doctor. It goes horribly, and then the once Jack breaks out of prison and they go with the doctor, then they succeed. So
The doctor is very much needed to
exactly,
save the day.
yeah.
The emphasis on the doctor's
Mhm.
importance.
Yeah.
Yeah, the special effects and atmospheric lights
Mhm.
and tone, that is something I love about the Chibnall era. They get that so well. The lighting, especially in the incubation room, I love it. It's just so atmospheric. That fresh look of the show that I think was desperately needed.
Mhm.
They continue to be brilliant behind the camera. So yeah,
Yeah, so
that impresses me.
they split into groups, which I really liked, as I said earlier. And so Jack and Yaz, I think, had a very good back and forth. Like Jack's like, you don't get to choose when you like leave the doctor, which I thought was cool. And Jack, like, I don't know if they're hinting at like a Doctor Yaz relationship, but they
Yeah.
definitely at least hinted that Yaz kind of like had feelings for the doctor.
I hope they don't go that route because it didn't impress me with Rose and Ten. It didn't impress me with Grace and McGann.
So when Paul McGann's doctor kissed Grace in Doctor Who the movie, shockwaves were felt around the world.
I was so shocked when they kissed. It just seems so wrong.
Is it medically wise? The germs you can get from an alien from another planet.
I have no problems with the kiss in that episode at all. I think it's love. I do love people who say there are certain fans who can't bear the fact that there's a kiss in an episode. So they say, he just kisses her because he's so happy. Have you seen that kiss? If I did that to you, you'd be like calling your lawyer.
So I don't think that will impress me with Yaz and 13. Yeah, but I really don't think they will do that further.
Yeah, but what it might turn into is just Yaz has feelings for the doctor, so it'll be like the series 3 storyline.
Yeah.
And then the doctor doesn't have any feel. Yeah, whatever. Back. I think they might go there with it. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they will get a like full romance, especially now that there's another companion coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the resolution to this story, it was very Remembrance of the Daleks-esque.
The voices of the new Daleks were actually the Dalek voices from Remembrance of the Daleks.
Are you kidding? Really?
Yeah.
That's
Or at least like made to
what?
sound like it. Yeah.
Wow. Cool. And some people have also compared it to Blood of the Daleks, the Big Finish story,
It's been
which I haven't heard, but have you heard it?
I have heard it, but it's been like more than 3 years.
Oh, okay. But
But-
from what you can remember,
Yeah.
would you compare it the most to Remembrance or to Blood?
I don't remember a single thing about Blood of the Daleks except for I liked it. But
Okay.
I remember Remembrance a little better, but I do think that's similar in the sense that like the Dalek Civil War and like Daleks fighting Daleks on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to say about Robertson before we get to kind of like the climax.
Yeah.
Regardless of any of the social commentary stuff, he really just took me out of the story. So like for example, Leo's character looks really menacing and like I'm like super like locked like I'm like what's gonna happen next, and he's just looking there all scary, and the Jack is like, where did you get the purchase codes for this? That just really, it like made me laugh in what should have been a serious scene.
Yeah, absolutely. I found most of the time I actually found the dialogue for Jack to be very true to the character.
Yeah.
And Barrowman, of course, he delivers it with brilliance, and I didn't have such moments where I was taken out of the story. But
Mhm.
I can completely understand if you were. There are a lot of weird moments in Chibnall's stories which can easily just make you go, what? And then just go right back into the main meat of it,
Yeah,
if you understand.
yeah, I do. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a
So
roller coaster.
yeah, did you want to talk about the? Because I think you brought it up and then I interrupted. Did you want to talk about the way that the Doctor defeats the Daleks?
Yeah, I didn't mind it actually. I've heard a lot of complaints about that one, but personally, that's not as out of character as one would think. And people have compared it to the 10th Doctor giving the Daleks a second chance, which 13 does not.
Yeah,
But at this point, it's unrealistic for the Doctor giving them a second chance. And yeah, the TARDIS just imploding in of itself. It reminds me of one scene in the War Games
Mhm.
where Jamie and the Doctor are crushed by a TARDIS because the War Chief activated it or something. I don't know.
We're doing all right, Doctor. Very nice, Gemini. Don't worry. Nothing can happen to us in here. We're seeing things. Walls. Look! And the ceiling too! Oh, no! Oh, oh where did they go? You must surrender, Doctor, or you will all be crushed to death. You have 30 seconds to decide. 30 seconds!
I found it to be a callback to that.
Yeah, I did like the callbacks in this episode. Like you had the
Rose.
Yeah, Rose,
and
like you want to know where I put this weapon.
Gwen Cooper. And
Lost track of time. Gwen Cooper sends her love, by the way. Says she took out a Dalek with a moped and her son's boxing gloves. Woohoo! Anyway, I'm gonna stick around on Earth and catch up with her. I'll call you.
Send my love to Gwen. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I actually like that especially because like I haven't listened to any of the Big Finish Torchwood stories.
Same.
But I'm kind of like, what are they up to now? Which, if I wanted to, I should probably listen to Big Finish stories, but they're expensive.
Yeah, same.
Eve Miles cameo would have been cool. She was probably just busy doing something.
That would be the cherry on top. While we're at it, I would really like cameos from Sarah Jane's companions, like Clyde and Ronnie. And
yeah, they were actually in Farewell Sarah Jane, which was recent.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and my shelf is just coming apart there. Anyway, I think there were some more Class Q references, but I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Me neither. Yeah, and we just have to talk about the very ending. Like,
yeah, I want to talk more about the bringing in the before we talk about the ending. I want to talk about the whole bringing in other Daleks first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing with that was I think I'm fine. It's not out of character. I wish they had kind of like at least considered other stuff first.
Yeah.
Like, you do this. No, that won't work.
To have more of a conversation and discuss possibilities. Yeah.
So Jack called it, or 13 or Jack called it like the nuclear option. I feel like it's not unreasonable to go there, but you should try other options before you get to the nuclear option. When they first called it the nuclear option, I was just like, I thought what they were talking about was they were gonna have someone like look into the TARDIS heart and like kill all the, like Rose did.
Yeah.
And like kill all the Daleks that way, but that didn't end up being what happened.
Maybe that would be fatal to the Dr. Jack and
no, it definitely would.
Yeah. Should we talk about that now?
About what? Oh, the bronze Daleks.
No. The very ending.
I have more thoughts. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So the one thing about not Donald Trump that was actually interesting was when he tried to side with the Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like then I started like I could like kind of enjoy his character.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a twist I like didn't see. I didn't see coming. Um,
same.
but like, do you think that I think the Daleks would have like shot him? I think the Daleks would have just killed him, and I would have been fine with that.
No, I think the Daleks would have shot him, but not before utilizing him to his utmost potential. Use him for what he's
Yeah.
worth, to gain political power over the Earth,
Mhm.
so that they don't just go
Yeah,
and blindly commit genocide and use Jack Robertson as a piece on the chessboard instead.
yeah. I mean, that would,
Um,
maybe I just wanted to be killed off because I don't like his character.
yeah.
They leaned on like the Nazi allegory with like the purification of the Dalek race.
Control, identify, Dalek, incorrect. Scan detects anomalies. Dalek DNA merged with human traces. We have mutated to survive. You are impure. The Dalek race must have purity. Exterminate! Exterminate the impurities! Exterminate the impurities!
And then I liked how like the bronze Daleks killed the new Daleks. Great design, by the way. And,
Yeah, I agree. Very good design, actually.
yeah, and I like how they're so pure that like even the resolution Dalek, like they had to kill off.
Yeah, as previously stated, though, it was very remembrance-esque, and it was still very different seeing it with these new designs and new Daleks and new voices, and that climax mostly worked for me. Actually, it was a bit simple on the like story-wise, but
Yeah.
it works.
So Graham and Ryan left the TARDIS, which I feel like before we talk about the execution, I just feel like was a good idea. One, because Chibnall has shown that he has trouble writing large groups of people, which there's nothing wrong with. Like it takes a very specific like type like there are good writers who can't write for four leads. You know what I mean?
They managed it like during the show's inception. There it worked
And
fabulous,
I would say
fabulously.
that those were like exceptionally like specifically good writers who were good at writing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and also I feel like they're really only like there's no story left to tell that Chris Chibnall has even hinted at past series 11, I think. Like series 11, I liked their arc in series 11, like the whole like father figure role, like Ryan calling him dad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
That was kind of touching, actually.
But then in series 12, they didn't really have anywhere to go with that storyline. So I think it is a good idea that they left. And
yeah, they haven't been that good at utilizing their companions, honestly, especially Ryan. Like there was so much potential there, but they really didn't want to dive into that.
Yeah, and I think his disability wasn't handled very well.
It was very glossed over. It was very surface level.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't think that his story should have revolved around him being disabled, but I can't think of any specific ones. But like I think there were examples of like the writers just like forgetting that he had the disability and just having him be normal, having him be able to use his his hands or legs or whatever.
Yeah,
like I think he climbs like one of the episodes. Maybe he climbs a ladder. I think like without any trouble. Like things that he should have trouble with, like making it realistic, like without revolving the story around it.
Exactly, that's the key.
Yeah. So I guess let's talk about the execution now. Did you think the exit was well written?
Actually, yes. I don't know if this is, not the final shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scene where Ryan and Graham leave the TARDIS,
Mhm.
I found that to be well written.
Yeah.
But Ryan and Graham standing on top of the hill and Ryan learning to ride a bicycle, I don't know. That just didn't work. But the actual leaving of Ryan and Graham, yeah, I think that was well written.
I think what was in there was good, but I think it was a little short. I would have liked to see a little bit longer of a conversation at the end.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
The bike thing I didn't really have an issue with because it kind of just like bookends like when we first see Ryan, he's trying to ride a bike, and then of course, as I mentioned, he's does things throughout the series that suggests he should be able to ride a bike, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, but then it like ends with him riding a bike, and which I thought was nice. Graham being a supportive father.
What ruins that for me is the hallucination or image
Oh
of
yeah, that definitely took me out of it for sure.
yeah, that was jarring. They could have done that a lot better. Maybe an actual flashback to the woman who fell to Earth,
Yeah, no, that would have been good.
and just to tie that in there. But yeah, the chemistry behind Graham and Ryan is it's really something there, and that is touching to watch.
Yeah, so then Yaz stays on. I guess Jack, which I'm okay with. I hope they actually give her a character in the next movie.
Yeah, same.
And I guess Jack, they didn't really explain what Jack was going to be doing. I assume he'll just be doing Torchwood stuff on Earth now. So I hope that they have him at least appear like during the Earth episodes. I wanted him to be a full-time companion, but they didn't go for that.
That would be the best option, of course.
Yeah.
But we don't live in a perfect world, so
Yeah.
can't have that.
All right, so I think that wraps things up for us. I think we should talk about John Bishop in a separate video.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Revolution of the Daleks, I liked it. It wasn't great, but it was good.
Yeah.
And I think if Series 13 is handled like this, I'll be happy with it, especially compared to the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, I agree. I have the exact same conclusion, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did you guys think?
Let us know down in the comments. You can support the channel by hitting the subscribe button, turning on notifications, liking the video, just leaving any comment for the algorithm to feed on. The algorithm also. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Stay shui.